So the comparison to the Ducati. Now that I have point of reference,
Yep.
right, and we can sip on this, and then we'll talk about this in a minute. So comparison to Ducati. On the track, we'll start on the track first. The Ducati is violent, right? And maybe it was more of the adrenaline that I had about being at the track and all of that, right? I didn't really notice it, right? I was probably all hopped out, hyped out, that I'm at the track, you know, I got a really cool super bike, you know, and taking it through its paces.
Sorry guys, not many people buy a Ducati and just ride it at the track. Like not many people do that. And I remember we were having this conversation before. I was like, dude, you're really gonna buy a Ducati for the track? Maybe start a little lower, you know? But then Ducati went out there, you were riding. I was like, shit, okay, he looks good out there. He's riding pretty well. You were taking it serious. You were focused. And that's what I like about you a lot. Actually, you definitely like to if this is what you're gonna do, you really focus on it, right?
I do.
And when I saw you at BMW, you're focused. You were talking to the guy about body position, trying to understand the bike, and you were really like, this is what I want to do. And when you were telling me the Ducati was better on the track and everything, I just not getting it.
And so here's the point is that it's not, right? The Ducati is not better on the track. And we've had this discussion before. Yeah. There is a method and way to ride that bike. That bike, you kind of struggle to hang on to that bike sometimes, especially around Palmer. Maybe it was more amplified because I was already tired that day.
That's true, yeah. We didn't sleep well. Yeah. We drove there that day.
Right.
Yeah.
So it probably had something to do with it, but hopping on the BMW now, having the point of reference to a more, I'm going to call it a more standard sport bike, because you know the BMW is a more standard type of sports bike vis-a-vis like the R1 and et cetera, GXR 1000, et cetera. So I was like, whoa, so that's what they mean. Yeah. So that's what everybody means about this.
The hype. There's the hype. Right?
Well, not even on the BMW, but the other people's opinions and inputs on riding Ducatis on the track.
Yeah.
And how there is a certain way about them, and just because of the single-sided swing arm, the engine management, you know, the crazy torque, right? And so yeah, I realized that, and more and more, and I was like, man, this is crazy. So at the track, yeah, the BMW, hands down, even I think out of the box.
Sure.
That BMW will own that Ducati out of the box, primarily because of how much softer the engine management is on the BMW. So you're able to kind of go in and out, and again, the brakes on the BMW, right? Nice, good brakes, in, out. So I think you're able to ride that faster, even out of the box. You're able to ride that faster than Ducati.
Yeah, I was so confused because the couple times I did ride it like that, it does not like to be in low gears. We talked about it in our previous episode.
Yeah.
It did not like that, you know? And I'm looking at it, I was like, okay, I get it, you're going to have a lot of corner speed. But if you have a lot of low corner speed and you're trying to get out of that thing, it's going to be difficult on the Ducati. And the BMW just, like, I didn't even ride on the track. I didn't get to, I was so in I needed to conquer my Suzuki. But,
which I think you did.
I did. And by the end of the day, I was enjoying that bike. And to the point that I'm like, the next day I was like, we got to get back out there. I got to get, like, now that the bike was kind of dialed in and was rolling, I got a little bit out of the hiccups of, like, putting it together the night before and, like, all these other things that were wrong with it. Whatever. I was enjoying this. I didn't even want to touch the BMW or the Ducati. You even said, well, take the Ducati out. I was like, this is where I need to be at. So, but I did ride it like around the track to, like, just to go
the
take
BMW or the Ducati?
Both of them.
Both of them, yeah.
And it just did not like low gears. So in my head, I'm like, I'm not understanding it. I don't know what he was enjoying about it. And then the BMW, when I took it out, just having a trunk, being able to put a phone in the damn thing to take it over there.
Here's another thing about the BMW. It's got a gas gauge. Panigale and a lot of other things.
It does it?
It does it.
Huh.
You had to count it. So it's got a gas gauge, heated grips on the BMW.
Nothing wrong with heated grips.
Heated grips, I've already used them.
I know everybody thinks it's a gimmick.
It's
really
not a gimmick. It's a real thing.
Really
it's
nice.
real. It's real. You need that. I'm sorry, you need that. And so, yeah.
One thing we haven't touched on, it's a lot easier to work on.
Yes, it is a lot easier to work
than
on
the Ducati.
than
You're
Ducati.
comparing the two, the Ducati. Everybody said, even I forgot his name. Steve. He had a little bit of time where he was riding Ducati as his like main track bike or whatever. He was
rode
with
for
some-
them
yeah,
or something like
along
that.
those lines. And he was saying after like he hated working on them. He works on Yamahas all day. Yamaha is a traditional bike, what you were saying, is
Right.
very easy to work on. Suzuki bike, Honda bike, whatever. And the Ducatis, everybody says they hate working on them.
Yeah.
To the point that like they charge you more per hour just to work on them. Like you could go somewhere, it's like $100 or $125 rate for a Ducati.
For Ducati, yeah, correct. So we got that right. Cost of ownership probably a little less probably a good amount less with the BMW, and a few other things, right? But primarily the cost of ownership. Aftermarket is it's a huge disparity in aftermarket.
Huge.
Anything for the Ducati is, I mean, typically the first thing, what do you normally do? Slip on or full system. Yeah, you're not getting that on the Ducati. Good luck. Well, you can, but it's, I think the Krapovic is like $5,000, something stupid, right? And not only that, it has to come with a special tune that apparently isn't that great and whatever. A slip-on is like $1,000 for the Ducati, just a slip-on.
Yeah.
The BMW got a lot of options in the slip-ons, and then you have a lot of options from a full system perspective. Is another good point for the BMW for sure, and price point. So you get all of these features that we were talking about for $22,000, whereas the Ducati starts at $22,000 or around there for a base model that doesn't have the electronic suspension, right? So you don't have that. The electronic suite is very good on the Ducati, but the BMW just completely demolishes it from the rider aids. The rider aids that the BMW has, the traction control, it has the wheelie control, everything. The 6-axis IMU with like the cornering ABS, so it monitors your braking ability, your braking situation as you're even leaned over. So it's like it's far out, right?
Yeah.
So
no, it's really nice. They really put a lot, like I was saying, they put a lot of thought into that bike, and it shows. It definitely shows.
Yeah.
I think it's a beautiful bike. Absolutely. The carbon on it, the carbon fiber on it is just spectacular. I really love how clean that thing is.
yeah, it's a clean.
And again, I don't know if we mentioned, we put it to the test already.
Yeah, we did.
accidentally put it to the test.
I don't want to hear it.
I know you were so upset about it, but it didn't have a scratch, right? There's no scratch on it.
Yeah, perfect.
That thing,
pristine.
Yeah, perfect. It's a beautiful bike.
But
and people were saying it's beautiful.
everybody was saying it was beautiful.
We had both the Ducati and the BMW right next to each other, and people were still going, "Hey, that BMW." And gray is typically like a mute color, like it's like you like when you buy a car and you don't want to be noticed, you buy a gray car, you know? Like
but
Ducati is red, it like
hey,
sticks
look
out
at
when
me,
you want to look. You know what I'm saying? You buy a red something, right? And people were still like, "That BMW is so nice." And I'm like, I mean, I get it. I love the BMW. Ducati sticks out, like
The
it's
Ducati
beautiful.
sticks out,
But
but
again, it's just
the Beaver
everybody
just
knows. It's just a beautiful bike.
the Beaver. It's so I think as we were discussing the other day, I can't keep both, right? I got both because I said, F it, right?
Yeah.
Screw it.
Yeah,
Why not?
do
It's
it,
not
yeah.
gonna. Even if I lose a little bit, that's fine. Whatever. So yeah, I think the Ducati unfortunately is gonna go. Actually, no, the Ducati is gonna be sold.
Let me ask you this: are you, if we do decide to go back in NYST, I think the Ducati would lend itself a little bit nicer at the NYST track versus Palmer. Are you gonna take it to the track with you, or are you
The
just
Ducati?
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna see if I can sell it before the
you
track day, and then the BMW is gonna be the main queen in event. So maybe with some aftermarket goodies in tow, who knows? But we'll see. But right now, I think he just out of the box right now. Like I said, out of the box, not great. As soon as you start dialing everything in, and getting it for you, and then only really getting that feel for it when I started pushing it outside of the road, right? When I started pushing on the track, it was like, wow. That's where I was like, I like this bike now. it took that, you know, extra sort of saddle time. So
I'm happy. I'm happy you enjoy it. I'm happy you're gonna keep it. Because it'd be sad if I think what. I would be disappointed.
yeah, well, I'm here to please, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm here to please. So
Fucking baller, man.
I know, right? All right, so that's that. That was good. So it's 35, 36. All right, so that was good.
Shit, it's been that long?
Yeah, we got 35 minutes of footage, but I think it was a lot better.
Yeah, we're gonna have to cut a bunch of it out, or you.
I'll cut it, but that was good. Because that was a lot better.